Okay, super interesting case in North Carolina's 9th District. So there was the case of Mark Harris, who's a Republican, versus Dan McCready, who's a Democrat there. And on the night of the election, it appears that Harris, the Republican, wins by 905 votes. But later, the North Carolina State Board of Elections and Ethics Reform decides, no, we're not going to certify the election. Now, that is super weird. Why is that super weird? Because the Board of Elections is made up of 9 people, split 4 Democrats, 4 Republicans, and an independent. The 4 Republicans also voted with everyone else in a 9-0 decision that they would not certify the results. Now, ain't no way those Republicans are going to vote not to certify results in an election that a Republican representative seems to have won in North Carolina, unless there's something super fishy potentially going on. Now, get a load of what might have happened, okay? So they look at the mail-in absentee ballots from 8 different counties. In 7 out of the 8 counties, McCready wins. For whatever reason, the Democrat wins the mail-in absentee ballots easily. Now, the one county, Bladen County, that they have a different result, it's even more curious. Now, get a load of this. Not only does it not match the other counties, which is possible, one county might be more Republican than the other counties. That's totally possible in a district, right? But this county is only 19% Republican, 19% registered Republicans. But somehow the Republican Harris gets 61% of the mail-in absentee ballots. That is not remotely possible. And so the Board of Elections and Ethics looks at it and goes, what in the world? There is something really weird and fishy and now, of course, potentially illegal that is going on here. So now here is the suggestion of what might have happened. There's apparently a Republican consultant that came in, and obviously they're going to have to prove this out, and the Republicans are like, no, just certify, who cares? And in fact, Harris is not even saying that it didn't happen. Harris is saying, well, even if it did happen, I'm not sure that it would swing enough votes. No. So wait till you get a load of what happened. So apparently these guys went to Democratic voters' houses, by the way, predominantly elderly African Americans, here we go again, and they told them, oh, we'll take your absentee ballot for you and we'll mail it in. Except they would take it, and in some of the cases, if it wasn't filled in, instead of filling in for McCready, even though the voters told them, I'm voting for McCready, they would fill it in for Harris. Now, first of all, let me just note, you cannot take other people's absentee ballots for them. That's already illegal. Boom, no matter what you do with it, it's already illegal. Number 2, filling it in for the other guy is super illegal, okay? I don't know that there is a category in the law for super illegal, but I think you understand my point. Then the second thing, sometimes, apparently, according to the allegations, they would actually cross out McCready's name and put Harris's name, super duper illegal, okay? And other times, they would apparently just take it and throw it in the garbage. Is there a super duper blooper illegal? Okay, it's definitely a blooper because they're in a world of trouble. The fact that Harris is not even denying it is amazing. I mean, look, maybe he didn't authorize it, and then these Republican bozo consultants and decided that they were going to commit voter fraud on their own. If they prove it, they should definitely go to prison. Okay, so did it affect more than 905 votes? There's an excellent case to be made that it did. Now, first of all, they think, well, that's Bladen County is the one that is, funny enough, blatant and obvious, right? But there might have affected more counties. Besides which, even if it's just the votes that they switched or the votes that they filled in, we don't know how many ballots they threw away. So it could definitely affect more than 905 votes. So they won't certify the elections. And now there is the possibility of a redo, which is incredibly rare in American politics. But in a case where there is clear cheating in an election, I don't know that you have much choice but to do a redo. So North Carolina's 9th district is not settled. So now they might have to even redo the whole election. But so why the told you in the title for this video? Because guys, I told you, it's the Republicans who cheat. And they keep claiming there's voter fraud, and they've looked at it 1,000 times, and there's been incredibly small case of voter fraud. And I told you that in the cases that we have covered in our coverage in the Young Turks that we have seen since we've been covering elections, it is almost every time a Republican. And by the way, the most common reason they give, normally it's not the campaigns. It's some local yahoo somewhere in the middle of the country. And the reason that they give is, well, the illegal immigrants were, going to do it anyway, so I was just trying to counter them. Or they'll vote for their wife when they didn't get their wife's permission, etc. But even those cases, mainly by Republicans, are few and far between. But this was systematic. It affected the election, and it appears to be a large undertaking, and it's by the campaign. It is literally the worst case of voter fraud I have ever seen in my lifetime. So again, if you're dubious about it, or if you're a Republican, there's no way 4 Republicans in North Carolina on that Board of Elections are going to go, we won, but we're not going to certify, unless they're nearly positive that there was cheating going on, and everybody's going to get caught, and people are going to go to jail potentially, right? So North Carolina's 9th District back in play, and if they did a redo on that election, it would be historic and fascinating. And I told you, there's one party that consistently does dirty tricks in this country, and it is the Republican Party. They do, in Mississippi, they started calling people and telling them, oh, who are you voting for? And if they said they were voting for the Democrat, Mike Espy, they'd say, oh, great, this counts as your vote. So you don't have to go to the voting booth. For all my lifetime, they've done these deceptive flyers, not in every case, obviously, but in a lot of cases, where they say, oh, good news, Republicans vote on Tuesday, Democrats vote on Wednesday. I mean, they're low information voters, and they have 1,000 ways to trick them. They're the ones who did fake news in the first place in the 2016 election to win. So the Democrats have 1,000 problems with them. But being over-enthusiastic about trying to find ways to win is not one of them, okay? And so there's almost no cases I've seen of cheating like this on the Democratic side. And mainstream media, you better not call it even, because there's no evidence to that, okay? On the other hand, you see it over and over again in the Republican Party, and this is beyond just a dirty trick in a campaign. This, if it's proven, is deeply illegal and would have severe consequences. I believe this is when we start chanting, lock them up, lock them up. They actually break the law. So, all right, thank you for watching, guys. And of course, if you want to join and get all of our shows, it's like a progressive Netflix, tyt.com/join. And I'll see you on the show on Monday. Although I have, I think, more updates coming up later this weekend. So I'll see you then.